Next on Good Morning El Paso.
Say that you need 300 million, right?
Minimum.
Okay. Where's that money going to come from?
Parents asking the hard questions at the Isleta ISD community meeting, what the superintendent had to say about the problems facing the district.
Also, University Medical Center continues to deal with the delinquent debt from El Paso Children's. Just how much did UMC lose last year because of it?
This group, AQAP, is absolutely determined to try to take out an attack on a U.S.-bound airplane.
The threat of terror attacks continue here at home. Why some believe there could be attempted airport bombings.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning at 6 a.m. Welcome back to Good Morning El Paso. I'm Hillary Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. It is Tuesday morning, and of course we were talking about the weather today because it is windy outside. If you step outside, be prepared for a blast in your face.
Yeah, a new hairdo, as we like to say. Let's check in with Crystal right now and see what's in store for later on. You say the winds might not be so bad.
Yeah, as we move later into the day, it looks like we're going to get a little break before the next storm system rolls in, hitting us tonight into your Wednesday. So that's the good news. But this morning, we're still dealing with some breezy conditions. Winds are at 10 miles per hour at the El Paso International Airport. Now, that doesn't sound too bad. Winds are actually stronger on the west mountain slopes. We're over in West El Paso here at the studio, and it's definitely breezy outside. I had to pop outside and grab something from my car, and it's chilly out there. Temperatures feels like 27, although it is at 35 degrees. Las Cruces, same situation. We're at 32. It feels like we're only at 22 degrees. Winds are at the south-southeast this morning at 15 miles per hour. And we do have a lot of moisture in the air. 91% your relative humidity, close enough that some patchy fog is yet again possible as we move through your morning hours, and then it should burn off later today if you do encounter any. We haven't had any reports, though, of fogginess this morning. If you have a report, send it to weather at KVIA.com. We're going to be talking about those rain chances today and over the next 7 days in a few minutes.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Crystal.
New this morning, an update on a former elected official who never got to start his term as Sunland Park's mayor pro tem because he was arrested.
And we now know when the trial of Daniel Salinas is expected to begin. We have Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas standing by live right now. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Hillary and Stephanie. Daniel Salinas was arrested back in 2012 after the mayoral election in Sunland Park. He faces dozens of charges, including extortion and fraud. His attorney told a judge yesterday that they are one step closer to begin trial this summer.
We're in the process of, we have some outstanding motions that are pending for the court. We feel that in the next 90 days we'll be in a position to address all of those issues.
A date for the start of the trial was not set, but the judge did mention in June or July of this year. There will be a pre-trial hearing in 3 months. Allegations that Salinas hired someone in 2012 to secretly videotape a candidate running against him getting a lap dance caused quite the scandal in Sunland Park. The idea was to allegedly get that candidate, Hernando Hernandez, to drop out of the race. In the meantime, Salinas is required to wear a monitoring device. He can only travel to El Paso to meet with his attorneys. Hillary, back to you.
Thanks so much, Denise. Happening tonight, the second Isleta community meeting will be held to discuss the problem of declining student population. But how did last night's meeting go? Well, about 500 people packed the YASD auditorium for this meeting. Superintendent Dr. Xavier de la Torre talked to parents, telling them that changes are needed to accommodate the district's aging schools. A recent study found YISD needs $303 million in remodeling and new buildings. The study recommends cutting 14 schools from the present 60 and even consolidating 7 elementary and 4 middle schools. What did the parents have to say about that?
It's a great idea to build the new buildings because, like my son, Erka Pisrano, this week actually they had a problem where in the restrooms they were finding bugs, roaches.
In my opinion, it's going to cause problems. Besides that, the congestion of the new school, being more students, being more cars, and more people going to pick up their kids, which I think is going to be kind of hectic.
De La Torre is asking parents to show their support for the changes by voting in favor of a bond this May. If you're a parent who missed last night's meeting, no worries. There will be another tonight. That'll be at 6 p.m. at Del Valle High School in the gymnasium.
The man accused of killing 3 people while driving drunk remains behind bars this morning. Yesterday, Joel Garcia's defense attorney asked the judge to reduce his bond to $10,000 for each of the 3 victims, but the judge denied that request. Police say Garcia was drunk and speeding when he crashed into a car, killing brothers Joshua and Isaiah Deal and Joshua's girlfriend, Shannon Del Rio. The crash happened Christmas Eve at Joe Battle and Vista del Sol. We spoke with the aunt of the 2 Deal brothers at the hearing, and she says there needs to be harsh consequences for DWI offenders.
None of us are safe on these streets of El Paso. The way DUI, just the people, they're repeat offenders, and they keep doing this over and over again. And, you know, we're on those streets with our families and our children, and we're not safe.
Garcia was already on probation for a prior DWI case. As part of his probation requirement, he would have to drive a car with an interlock system. Prosecutors say he borrowed his parents' car the night of the deadly crash. The teen who allegedly threatened a mass shooting on El Dorado High School is fighting extradition back to Texas. 18-year-old Carlos Castañón is currently locked up in a Doña Ana County jail without bond. Authorities say the Sunland Park teen posted a threat on Instagram last Thursday that spread quickly on social media. He maintains it was just a joke. Yesterday, though, a magistrate judge said the case would be transferred to district court and another hearing will be set.
Well, despite ongoing financial stress from decreased Medicare payments and the delinquent debt of Children's Hospital, UMC is still moving forward with millions of dollars in renovations and expansions. Hospital district staff gave a presentation to county commissioners yesterday on the progress of the projects. The projects are all paid for out of $150 million bonds approved by commissioners. That was back in 2013. The report shows UMC lost $66 million over the last fiscal year, which UMC says is due in large part to debt owed by Children's. UMC Board Chair William Hansen says he's hopeful that Children's debt to the county can be resolved in the next few months.
And now to the latest on the terror attacks in France.
This morning there are heightened terror alerts on both sides of the Atlantic. An international search is now underway for members of the terror cell behind last week's shooting.
Let's go to ABC's Susan Salney with the latest developing now.
French authorities are on a worldwide hunt for members of the terror cell behind the attacks in Paris that left 17 people dead. New video has emerged of at least one that got away. On the right, the girlfriend of the gunman at the Paris grocery store, believed now to be in ISIS territory in Syria.
She is outside of the reach of French law enforcement, and it's going to be difficult even to conduct surveillance of her activities while she's in Syria.
Today, 10,000 troops are stationed on the streets of Paris, nearly half guarding synagogues and Jewish schools, following that attack on the kosher market and other recent anti-Semitic incidents. One father shared his young son's anguish.
He says, please, Papa, don't let me go alone. Bring me to school, bring me back.
Concerns about terrorism are on the rise here at home, specifically about what could be another wave of attempted airport bombings.
This group, AQAP, is absolutely determined to try to take out an attack on a U.S.-bound airplane.
The U.S. military faced another terror weapon Monday as supposed ISIS followers took over the Twitter feed and the YouTube channel of the U.S. Central Command, headquarters for American efforts against the terrorists. They posted ISIS videos and this threat: American soldiers, we're coming, watch your back. The cyber attack was more embarrassing than harmful, but the FBI is still launching a full investigation. Susan Salney, ABC News, Washington.
A live look at traffic right now. It is I-10 in Joe Battle you were looking at there. That's I-10 in Americas. Right now it is 6:09. No problems traffic-wise to report right now.
A dog in Seattle is making headlines this morning.
Gets off at the stop at the dog park and gets off the bus. And I just look out the window and I'm like, did that just happen?
It's the video you just have to see to believe. A dog takes the bus to the park every day by himself. That's coming up later in the show.
Yikes, and fans grow rowdy overnight after the college football championship. Why police had to actually use tear gas at one point.
But first, Crystal Clay is standing by with our forecast. Crystal.
And it's a pretty nice one a little later today, but this morning a cold and breezy start outside. We'll have the details on the changes moving through your 7-day forecast up after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.